Hello, people of YouTube. It's Brittany and her goddess here on the tube and elsewhere. I wanted to come on here with a chit chat about tarot geography. And you may wonder, what do I mean by that? I mean, a question that some may have, or that comes up by and by, is where is a person located? Now, this could mean, like, like in the case of nosiness or checking up on, like, uh, is the person simply like at home, at work? Uh, are they where they said they would be? Something like that. Or it can be a wider kind of view, wider kind of questioning, like where on the planet is one located? What country? Like if they've said where they are and they're supposed to be there or whatever, are they where they say they're at? Um, One, answers to questions like that are going to become more specific the more you grind in specific answers. So if you're asked that a lot, or you do that kind of asking a lot and get it validated a lot, then you'll have specific cards and it means this or that. But as for me, I live with descriptions. So, because the thing is, the person that I'm speaking to can validate what I'm talking about. Like, if I say the place is hot and surrounded by water, like, oh, you knew that you were going on a trip to an island. Like, you knew that. I don't know. But you know that sounds about right. If I say that it's a dry climate and it's hot, and I'm saying sand and cactus and whatnot, you know you're going to Arizona or whatever. Like you know what's going on. So I don't need to know exactly and have all the states represented or every country on earth, every landmass. I don't need to do that. Oh, it's snowy and it's a big country. It's just like, heck, you tell me if I'm talking about Russia or Canada or whatever. Like you know your life, so so I'm going to describe circumstances. People that don't get readings or don't read tarot can certainly hear this and just be like, "That's craziness." Seriously, people be doing this? And the answer is yes. Reason, some people are suspicious, either just naturally suspicious or suspicious because they've been lied to. They can be curious about how something is going to turn out, and this can serve as a validation of what's going on. Meaning, if a person is inquiring about um, what's going to happen next in a relationship, and the first thing I start describing is a place that they're going, they can tell me that they already booked a trip with the person. Then it's just like, oh, okay, so she's tapped into to what's going on here. I didn't know. Like, I don't know your life. I don't know what's going on. I get what I'm told, and I work with the tools that I have. How does this happen with readers? How is it that we get stricken with certain proclivities? I think it just depends on you. Like what kind of stuff you may be into or that you've experienced. Something that is coming to the forefront of my mind is awareness that other countries may see America as like a united states, like as in you land anywhere in America and we're generally the same Americans. And the answer is no. Different regions have, different folks. The folks have different vibes. You might notice right off that we have different accents. We talk different depending on where we're from in the country. The country is huge. And within big states, there are variations within the folks of that state. A NorCal person is a little different than a SoCal person or a Central California person. A South Florida person is a little different than a North Florida person. Those are big states. But when you're from a totally different region, like someone from Montana might think everybody from New York is the same. But New York City and New York State, that's two different concepts there. I haven't even been to New York State or city, and I know this. Um, so, but we here in America, generally speaking, we often view countries as a whole. Oh, like Cuba's like this, and Russia's like that, and Brazil's like that, Canada's like that. It's not until like we speak to folks that are from the country that we realize, because it has to be expressed to us that, oh, like, so it's different. There's some things that I think anybody from any country would say, like, oh, my countrymen are like this. But there's also variations between region. Um, Another thing, this isn't, well, is this geography? Not really, this is just locating things. If you're looking for something, this can be a skill that you develop. I didn't really think it was a thing until, like, this was Facebook groups a while ago. Again, I'm not on Facebook no more, so any impersonators, I'm not over there. But, excuse me, some people would practice, like, locate a thing. Like, you can find a thing in a house. If you get good at it, practice, some people it's a vision kind of thing. This is some astral projection going on. And other folks might be using a deck and playing a bit of Clue. Like, you're looking for your keys. Living room. In the cushions. Which cushion? Chair cushion? Couch cushion? I think it's in the recliner. So, that's a thing. These are handy skills, but it takes practice. I have not wanted to participate in detective work with tarot or just my sensitive proclivities, because as you practice anything, like your your sensitivity increases, your awareness increases, and the information that I've witnessed from other people is so heavy that I'm like, I can't imagine seeing how someone is taken out or where their body is located because I'm looking at it, not the surroundings, but looking at their body or knowing what state their body is in, like in terms of decomposition. Uh, no, I like happy news. I like happy news. I like romantic news, sexy news. Uh, you'll be finding your funds news. Your funds is finding you news. That kind of stuff. And I happen to have a propensity for hidden intel. And the unfortunate part is a lot of times, like, you want to believe something is hidden on accident. Oops, it was lost. Or oops, person like forgot it, like just doesn't know where it's at, but it wasn't hidden on purpose. Never that. But that's often the case. People might hide the truth, hide objects. Um, there's a lot of stuff like that. Now, again, is that always bad news? No, there's plenty of good surprises or neutral things. Things that people just don't want to share for their reasons, which that's something that I look into. What reason was this hidden? Because that also makes me feel better. Like, not nefarious. Insecurity. Or a surprise is brewing. Oh, what kind of surprise? So that's something else I look at. Is it a surprise activity? Is it a surprise place? Is it a surprise object? What size is the object? Little object? Big object? Is it something you hold in your hand? Is it something you wear? I love that. Sometimes is it uh less pleasant surprise? Sure. But usually those that have the cheating noia, real fright about being cheated on. You are already attuned to cheating energy. And there's like, excuse me, there's like two, mm, yeah, I'll say like two kind of scenarios. Either a person is always around a lot of people, or a flirty person, or people like them a lot, flirt with them a lot, lust for them a lot. Or it's a situation where the person has to think about it, or really get to know somebody, or really be through with the relationship, like it's percolating. So there's the situation where it could happen almost spontaneously, and situation where it has to cook, like like you would already be feeling some sort of way. So I let a person know, if you've got a friendly person, a likable person, you've got to be comfortable with yourself and comfortable with them. Got to trust them, because you've got to relax a little bit to be able to tell the difference between someone liking them and them liking somebody back, flirtations and actually doing anything, what is done, or else you're going to be getting reads on them at a constant rate. And um, as much as that can be good for some psychic pocketbooks, I cannot recommend. Also, because that's taxing on the person. They're going to be aware that you are stalking them on some level, that you don't trust them worth a damn. And that's not good. The other instance is when it's cooking. A person is like more and more distant, or they're getting, they have a best friend or somebody, and it could be close, or they have a coworker and it's getting closer and closer to the edge of shenanigans. And that would be an instance that a person with cheating noia is going to pick up. Um, yeah, so so my answer with that is, what you sense if you've been cheated on before And I'm not saying by the person that you're inquiring about, but I'm saying in life, if you have been cheated on before, then the likelihood that you can pick up on if something is actually occurring or close to occurring is very high. Likelihood is there. But you just might be a little overly sensitive to where you might jump the gun and be borderline conniption having before anything is landed. Like they just had a thought. Like they had a thought. That's not cheating. Let a person think freely. Like goodness. Um, being crushed on also. If you got a person that's attractive, heck, if you think they're not attractive, I'm like I can't imagine you be with a person that you think is not cute, but you think you're you, you think your person is not a person that pulls people, but um, they're talented and they're smart. Because I'm like everybody. There's something about everybody, and for the petty crowd or people that are real picky about people's looks, like everybody's cute, like some sort of way. Now, not maybe not your cup of tea, but yeah, don't never count somebody out. It's pretty funny. I'm thinking of a couple in high school that I saw. Not only were they an unlikely couple, but also like both of them were like people you would think are sexless. Like y'all aren't doing nothing. Like there's no way. But they were. so, so yeah, being conscious of that. And likewise, sometimes you see people and you think, oh, they're certainly gonna be up to stuff just because you're looking at them, and it's just like appearance does not mean sexual activity. Some people enjoy looking it. Some people just don't care what you think. And that's the thing that I've witnessed in years that out in the world of adulthood, being a grown person, that people take it to mean something, which to me in that case, like I mean, your appearance, if you look a little sexy, that means something. So I'm like, in that case, like, what if I put on a suit and carry a briefcase? Are you going to think I'm a lawyer? What if I put on a lab coat and just walk around in a lab coat? Start wearing my glasses. You gonna think I'm a scientist? What what the heck? This literally explains why some people will walk around in military uniforms and they haven't been in the military. And like, if someone's going to donate their uniform, good for me. Maybe someone will think I'm a veteran. Terrible. Now that's well, it's not even an extreme case. That happens by and by. And more for the military than police officers or firefighters. I noticed in nursing that that's an area where there's like confusion. Depending on someone's judgment of you, they might think that, oh, like, you're not a nurse when you are a nurse, or think that you're a tech or something else. And because we all wear scrubs, everybody wears scrubs. So, kind of look you over. And I'll say that, well, you can kind of judge doctor's office or hospital by pattern or non-pattern. But some offices require only solid colors. So you'd really have to inquire. You'd really have to ask the chickadee or Broham in scrubs, like, what do you do? I'll say that for most folks, they don't want to wear their scrubs outside of work unless they work in an office. Because you wear your scrubs, you want to take them scrubs off immediately. This ain't no disrespect, but the thing is, you know what goes down. so, so that's not something you wear in the produce aisle. But anyway, this is a little bit of a meandering. I think I've about covered it. Finding objects, finding places, reasons why, the locating ability. Last thing, I'm thinking like archaeology. You can do some finding of things that way. That's some detective work through history. That doesn't have to be horrifying. I noticed that I'll get different information that way. And I think I'm being held gently in that regard. Because no, I'm not trying to see like people dying in battle. But I'm open to some intel if something needs to be said. Anyway, if if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I am sending lots of love your way. Many blessings, and I'll see you in the next one.